Il faut que tu te pousses un peu.
Non live.
Elle est là, la souris. Vous avez dit. On a besoin.
So welcome. Sorry for wrote in the chat. Sorry for the big delay we had. Big internet problem in the house. Nevertheless, we succeeded to connect at the end, thanks to the team around here that is helping us. So I'm gonna just introduce and give the word to the people around here. First, Nathalie. Go on.
Hello everybody, my name is Natalie, I'm from Switzerland. I'm in Action Type since 6 years, and I hope you enjoy the meeting.
Okay, Michiel from Holland, connected to Action Types Academy and Talents in Life. Since 2006 I'm in Action Types.
14 years already.
14 years already.
Okay, and Rainer?
Yeah, hello, welcome. I'm Rainer and I'm from Germany. In Action Types I think since 2009, and yeah, we will have a lot of fun today.
Okay. So the idea was to create such a small event online, streaming one, knowing that it would be the first time we organize that. And of course, we had a good first technical issue. We could manage the first test, and then we had a huge problem with the material, and it broke down, and we had to set it up again somewhere else. So we lost a lot of time, but okay, finally we're here. And we're happy to be able to talk a little bit about what we plan to talk. We'll see how long it goes. Hopefully you have some time, and let's see. Okay, the idea is to talk about dynamic balance using some parameters. What is dynamic balance? So, of course, Nathalie, Michel, and Rainer can interact. And I just also want to briefly say that we are helped by Eric, two Erics back behind the cameras, and Matt. So a lot of people just came to the Action Types office to help us, and I thank them all very much, of course. Okay, let's go into the subject. There is the chat, of course, but we don't have anybody going and looking at the chat at the same time. Eric could go there. If you are putting some question, of course, along the road, we may take the question inside. Let's see if there is something interesting. You can go on the other side and take that one. Okay, so what is dynamic balance? Dynamic balance is in fact another word for the motor skills. The motor skills are, let's say, the one you know if you are educated in Action Type. Maybe we have a few people here that also look at the presentation but are not educated. We have four motor skills, or four motricities that we are using, and each of them is one type of dynamic balance. One type of dynamic balance. And dynamic balance is just a system that is ready to adapt according to the need. When you need anything, you need to express, you need to recover, you need to do anything. The dynamic balance is the way to recover, the way to express, independently of what you're doing. It's always something that is ready to go, okay? So it's also the conjunction of what we call an orientation preference. An orientation preference, you know, it's working bottom, working top. So you may be in front of the gravity vector or back behind the gravity vector. When you combine the orientation with another preference, which is differentiation, and differentiation is if you go against gravity or with gravity, so if those things, and you are ready to fully enjoy what you're doing.
What do you think about when your dynamic balance is disturbed at all?
So depending on what is disturbing
what is happening with the parameters in the movement and in the action
Okay, so imagine you're playing a game and you lose confidence, for example.
Because if I play golf, I can do it in my dynamic balance,
Mm-hmm.
and I can put my posture in it, what the best is for me, what the best preference is.
Mm-hmm.
But what is happening if something is just out and okay?
Out of balance.
Out of balance. Where is the dynamic balance at that moment?
Okay, so depends of course on the reason of you losing your dynamic balance. But most of the time, if you play golf, for example, most of the time is because you may be tired. I mean, a little bit tired because you played a few holes and then you got to a point where you're not fresh anymore, or you may be too much in your head. So what I suggest people to try first when they lose their dynamic balance is to concentrate on their mobile point. That's a very nice tool we can use, concentration on the mobile point, because it's something easy to do, just a little bit of training, and you can get down to your point, the higher or the lower, depending on your profile. And by just putting the zone of your mobile point into consciousness, the effect is that you get out of your head.
Do you say with this fixing and focusing on a mobile point, it's an easy way to get back to your?
It's one possibility.
One
yes.
Possibility.
Because it's not depending on if you are stressed or not, or if you are tired or not. It gets you back to your body. So you're beginning to, you have the body references again, okay? So the idea is to get back to the internal body references, the one that normally you use. And of course, by playing golf a few holes, or by just getting a bit tired, or by getting into your head after a mistake, for example, after a bad shot, then you dissociate your mind and your body. And one way to reassociate your mind and your body is to put your consciousness onto your mobile point. That can be one, of course, but you could also put your consciousness, for example, on one of the triggers that you have. Okay, so I have a zone and I just put my consciousness back. Everything, in fact, that will allow you to get back to the body reference, to the sensation of your body expressing, will put you, or will get you out of your head and will help you get back to the balance.
Well, this is the thing what I experienced in doing sports, and you don't have to be the best in a kind of sport, so
no,
golf is
you don't
just
have to.
a hobby, what I do,
Mm-hmm.
but this is exactly, and this is also for the people at home, this is exactly what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be the master in it, but you
No.
can still use all the dynamic balance, motor skills to explore things, what's going on in your body.
Exactly.
It's very good to do
Yeah.
that all four,
Yeah.
and see what's happening in volleyball or in sports or in horse riding. It doesn't matter what.
Do your own experience. What we can tell the people is do your own experience. It doesn't have to be sports. You can be in a meeting and not able to concentrate on what the other guys are saying in a meeting, and then you get back to your mobile point, just reconcentrate on your mobile point, and maybe we can link that to what the Asian cultures are saying, is recenter yourself in your body. Okay, recenter yourself. Don't let your mind take you somewhere else. Recenter in your body, and then because your balance is getting back, you will be okay. But this is not magical. This is really simple tricks. My contention is always that if you want to make something work, it has to be very, very simple. Okay, as soon as you put a solution.
We in Holland say kiss.
Kiss?
People say kiss. Keep it stupid simple.
Yeah. Okay, we can go.
We can go that way. The idea is to always have a few tricks, but the tricks have to be simple. So going to the mobile point, of course, you need to know where it is, but it's not very difficult to do. The difficult thing to do is what always I say in a lot of courses, is to have the lucidity, so the freshness in the mind, to think about the solution. To say, okay, let's try that and do it. So don't just keep your stress or get tense because of what is happening. But I am clear enough in my mind, okay, now it's time to use that trick. And then you do that.
and I use it a lot of time, and it's really, really interesting in terms of putting you back into your body.
At the moment, you are working with high-level ice hockey players. You work in the same way with them?
Yes, yes. Ice hockey, for example, is a sport going very fast, where you don't have a lot of time planning what you want to do. Okay, so all the solutions, they have to be very, very simple. But the problem is during the game, because you are like a few seconds on a game, then you have a new shift coming, and then you rest. So you prepare yourself, and if you are not good when you are on the ice, you should be able to think, okay, let's go on my mobile point and do it. And that's the most difficult part, because of course, with a high pace, you forget to do that.
Is it a question of confidence to get out of the head and to get into the body?
Most of the time, yeah. Because the body is not talking to you. Or if it's talking to you, it's through pain, pleasure, and emotions. Okay, so things that are quite non-verbal. And putting your confidence into your body, it means listening to your body. It's not easy, because it's not something we teach or something that is taught in school, and the kids, they don't know how to do that. So they don't know, for example, even meditation, most of the kids, or they don't know how to just use their body to balance, to bring them some skills, some more skills. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah, education system.
Education system is not going there.
Yeah.
It's up there. So down there they don't talk about that. Maybe in biology courses or science courses, but not on the rest. So the thing is, of course, I will invite Michel, Nathalie, and Rainer to give example about what they do normally and when they work with people. With ice hockey players, the big challenge is really to give them let's say, the intelligence to use something else when they have a problem, because they have the automatic behavior. When it's not going well, then they may just do too much of something. They do too much, okay? And when you do too much, of course, you're not ready to...
You're not ready to put your energy in the proper direction. So your tendency when it's not going well, what are doing the players, and it's not ice hockey in general, is to exaggerate. You always exaggerate, okay?
And of course, the idea of, okay, recognizing that you have a problem first. I have a problem. I have a moment where, for example, my decisions are bad, or I cannot play well, I don't feel well. Then the idea is to take the time to get back in the body, and that's something we try to teach to the ice hockey players. And of course, that's in training first, and when they understand or they experience in training that it's working, then they have also the energy and motivation to put it into the court.
How important for you in this process is this aspect of differential training?
It's the main importance. It's the first importance for me. Differential training, so differential learning from Schoelhorn is linking with the action type approach smoothly and nicely, because they are using the same principles. The principles that you have the solution, your body has the solution, your body knows, your mind doesn't. So my mind can imagine a lot of things, create a lot of problems, even because it's a perfect machine, our mind, to create problems. But if you let the body adapt and let dynamic balance adapt and find something according to the context, it will every time it will do something neat and nice.
Would you say that differential learning is somehow a method to get into practical work for that theory for which ATA is standing?
I would say it's another way at looking. Yeah, it's another way for the same problem, but we are looking for the same situation. So the body and its natural competencies, and you can do it from the differential learning approach and from the action type approach, because they are very complementary. They look at the same thing.
But if,
So
you
it's
go, if you go on the cognitive side, at least that's what I'm
doing in education.
Mm.
So sometimes we have 4 solutions for the kids, 4 answers,
Mhm.
written in a D or G or ROC style,
Mm.
and then they connect to the brain in what suits them the best.
Okay.
And we make the movements when we have the space, you know what the classroom it's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
big.
Well,
It's
it's
not,
key.
yeah, it's a little bit, so but that's also to free the brain and to get into the connection with the body.
Yeah, it's
And the thing we are getting back from the children is they just like it. They are okay and they are convenient with it and comfortable.
Do you have the feeling that afterwards, if you
change to arithmetic or something like that, they feel ready for this different subject, or
There is a I can
give you an example. I had a guy who was coaching who was in Formula 4. So the guy, his father, he had a really huge amount of money and put in.
you need, yeah.
So he needs a lot of money to go there. And his father just called me in because I was with the ski team at that moment. And on the Thursday we did practice in the simulator. He had some subject like math, which was very, very difficult for him. And it was so in his brain at that moment that he was almost unable to stay on the track. So I was in the simulator and he was just going off 10, 12 times. And I was sick when I came out of the simulator because I was on the track as well.
okay.
And then he came back on the Saturday afternoon. He slept okay, he was okay, he was in his profile, he was on art, and nothing with math, and he was doing very well.
But he also didn't do sport with you.
no? But do you have the feeling when you do such a physical work with them that afterwards they get easier through theoretical FEM, so where they jump back
it is
to their
okay. You have to do a longer period and to make measures of it. Maybe you could say something if you have a longer term about it. But what the kids say, they feel more comfortable just to be in the school, and that's for me the kids where I was with. That's the first thing that needs to be taken care of. The kids need to be okay, and okay, then the learning it will come. 100%. They will be open for it. But first take care of the way how they feel.
What we know is when you move, okay, you let the system
create the dynamic balance. So every time you have for me, a cognitive problem, school or something else, we should really create a context where people are allowed to move. So
Crazy thing is we don't have an education system where we can move. We just, the kids have to sit, don't move. Because if you move, you have ADHD or ADD.
Oh, I moved, but
or you
have a problem,
or another.
You have to go to the toilet. Okay, that's
so maybe we will go to another topics.
Yeah,
we'll talk about internal rhythm a little bit. So internal rhythm
is something that is very to the heart of what Ralph Hippolyte likes, because he was using that already a long time ago in volleyball, teaching spikers, teaching setters to use their internal rhythm. So it's like a concept first, but how can we make it less conceptual and more concrete? And that's a challenge, of course. Internal rhythm is a little bit of the summary of all the oscillators that you have in your neural systems and how they cope and how they synchronize together in order for you to have a specific pace that suits your need and expression. So how can you find your internal rhythm? I think it's a very complex topic, but anyway, we'll try to make it simple in terms of you have a profile that is using more or less high, low frequencies, And the idea is you have also your motivation that will push you on one side or the other, so you have a lot of combinations. But at the end, you have a need of having your breathing system also giving you a rhythm. And all of them, they will combine into something where you have dynamic balance. At the point, if you use your internal rhythm, the one that suits you, okay, you have dynamic balance. And you can execute maybe a golf swing or a tennis play, anything, using that pace. Can be fast or slow, and then when you use that, you are very economical. It's a way to be very economical. So what we tested with the people here, it's an idea I had yesterday, this morning, and so on and so forth, is to give you the possibility to listen to a beat that can go fast or slow, depending on your, and then you try to test if are you available when you do that, or are you not available. So we did it with a few people here just to challenge them and do them, and maybe we can do it with you, Rainer, or and with Matt maybe also. But okay, what I just took here, it's like a metronome on an app, having the possibility to, for example, to go with a certain speed. So I can go to different for example, this is 182. So 1, 2, 3, and the fourth is a bit different as a tone. So if we go, for example, and put our attention on that cadence or that rhythm, then of course, depending on our own internal rhythm, we may be in balance with that pace or not.
Could you say you connect or not?
You connect or not, yeah. Okay. But it has nothing to do with you, I like or I don't like that beat. I mean, that's the problem we had when we tested it. So some people, they like a bit slow or like a bit high, but maybe the one they need is not the one they like. So there is a little bit of a problem here, because of course people say, the one I like is mine. Maybe, we don't know. So the idea is to test. So if I put Rainer's attention, so we have to be ready with the camera, because we need to put Rainer standing up here. So it's okay if Rainer is standing up. Okay. So Rainer will be here, and he put his attention to the thing, auditively, so listening to the beat. Okay. So I can ask Rainer to spread his legs a little bit, spread your legs a little bit here, just to be ready for the test.
I feel how I get back.
Okay, and if I go here and try to move, see, with that pace, Rainer is out. Now I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down to something under 100. Yeah. It's like 80 or yeah,
that's good.
90, 92. Okay. Now he's gonna concentrate on the 92. I give you a little bit of space and time for that, of course. And he puts his attention to the metronome, to the beat. A few seconds, of course. You can witness if his dynamic balance is moving or not. And I can go for the same test. And if I push here on the side, same push, no movement. Okay? Get back to 182, you just turn around here with your fingers. Yes. And what do you mean? Here. Okay? Okay. Let's go back to 182 or 180 something. 84. Put Rainer there. And Rainer, of course, may be experiencing that is moving a little bit. He's going on his heels. Because the energy he's taking, the energy he's using to perceive that, is some kind of a stress for him.
I like, but
he could like, but the problem now, if I test, Rainer is out, okay? Because he's out of balance. So we have to be careful because of the camera, because, but that's it. Okay, get back to 90, just to make a second. Okay, 5-6 seconds. Okay, no movement here. Okay, so the idea is very simple. When you have somebody with a profile like Rainer, which is validated as an R2, with motivation, competition internal, anchor external, which makes a little bit of a G2 influence on the R2, they are both, the DMDs and the profile, on a low frequency range. So it's really somebody that needs low frequency internal rhythm. So it's going to have a beat that is very, very cool and slow.
Because I'm introverted, I also close my eyes to really get
You cool?
the rhythm.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and that's what made me strongly moving there between
front and back.
Front and back.
Yeah,
and even I could feel the turning of the shoulder.
Yeah, but even there, he couldn't really find the dynamic balance adapted to the new pace, which means what's not in the dynamic balance. But when you get to your internal rhythm, or close to it, it's you trying, then of course you will be very, very solid.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the speed of movement, okay? Internal rhythm is internal. The name is internal, it means it's inside of you, and you need really to have that pace, like your mind is breathing, I would say. You're breathing with some kind of rhythm also, but your mind is breathing, and you use that pace to calm down or to synchronize with what you are doing outside. Outside can be a very quick movement, outside can be a swing in golf, but you need inside, for example, for Rainer, to keep it very, very cool and very slow. So it's a very big paradox between what is happening outside. Maybe he's playing badminton because he's a badminton coach and he has to go for smash with high speed. But internally, he should stay with, okay, I am having my private wave, which is going slowly.
Yeah, I know that I need a slow, smooth preparation, and then I can go fast. That's what I know from if I want to.
From your experience?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if he's getting nervous and with high pacing, he will make a lot of mistakes. Yeah. And if you are another profile with high frequency or having DMDs with high frequencies, then of course maybe you have to find something that is like 150, 60, 80. Okay, so it's a matter of trying. You listen to the beat, you put your attention really on the beat, and get tested.
Do you think that this is connected to the music, which is interesting for an athlete to listen? So it means that it is useful for athletes like me, for example, to hear music which has a slower internal rhythm, and athletes with a higher rhythm need a faster music.
It's something to be tried in terms of maybe warm-up. What do I need in warm-up here in my as a music?
I know. I can give an example.
Exactly what you were talking about. When I was in the time when I was a head coach in the Paralympic team, one of my players just liked to have music in the timeout. So we just on one ear, and the other ear she could hear what was on.
Could listen to you one ear, music on the other one.
Yeah, and she was. On the other hand, because I tested her and she was hard, and she really liked it if people just tapped her back. So during the time, just tapping her back and be conscious and be on. And for her, it was really working. So she moved faster because we were sitting on the floor, and she was better in reception, better in setting what she had to do. So this was a really good thing for her, and really worked. But it was very differential, because there were other who said, okay, what you are doing? Her formal coach said, you're crazy. You have to listen to me. So we don't listen to music.
You have to listen to me.
So
I have the wisdom, I have the knowledge.
so
You're just a player.
what we discussed in the courses, we discussed in the courses also that it was also, maybe you can explain a little bit more. It was also connected to the shoulders and to the horizontal vertical. What do you think about that?
In the book that should be published this year, hopefully,
It's coming.
there is a table I designed a few years ago because of that. Okay, all the parameters we know, I think all the parameters we know that are creating a profile, they have some kind of influence on that internal rhythm. Of course, what Ralph thought from the beginning, and what I also experienced, was that the main parameter for internal rhythm is the vertical horizontal dimension.
So that comes first.
That comes first.
Okay.
Seems to come first according to our experience.
As an indicator.
As indicator, yes, first. If you are horizontal, then of course it will go on the slow, so to Reiner's side. If you go on the vertical side, it could go to my side, which is a higher pace. And of course, when you listen also to Reiner, if he's talking German normally, but if he's talking English, it's okay also. He's talking quietly. He's not talking fast. He's always having a pace like, I am Reiner and I am happy to be here. Okay? I am talking fast. I am talking fast. I can be in any language, French, German. I had always that problem when I get to the education, PE education studies, because my teachers were saying, slow down. Because they are.
But this is a very interesting subject.
Yeah.
Because
If you make the transfer to business,
Yeah.
you see the same.
Mm.
If people are
They also have human beings in business.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
most of the
Yes.
most of the time, yes.
but if people are pushed in business,
Yeah.
and they're pushed in a certain rhythm they can handle, they're out.
Yeah.
And the context where they are in is still okay, but the rhythm is gone.
Yeah.
And that's the moment where I think what they're working on just it blows up. It's gone.
They
And
should.
they're really smart people.
They should use their internal rhythm. They should welcome the fact that the other people around they don't use the same, okay, and never create the stress or press the other to cope and to be like them. It's like all the parameters. It's always a matter of okay, I have my way of expressing my internal rhythm. I use my internal rhythm. I have my dynamic balance, and I feel well when I'm there. But when the other is talking, I need to cope with the other without changing mine. I don't have to ask, you need to do like me, of course. You don't need. But the problem is, as soon as you have differences, then you go in your head. Instead of staying in your body, let your body adapt to your pace, to my pace, and just, okay, connect and put the attention on the other one. No, you put your attention on what the other is saying, and how the other is saying. So you forgot about what is said, but you go on the how, and you lose track about what is on conversation. So you're having your attention that is disturbed by something.
Okay, for all the people, hello. For all the people in Holland, we are going to have the 19th of December. We're going to have an exchange platform with the academy, with Peter and Lenny.
We say hello to Holland.
Hello to Holland. 12 points.
But one of the topics of the theme of this day is me and my team. So the question is, what do you think? How far a coach should be with his team, maybe losing himself? Also on this topic, on the rhythm, because he cannot keep up with his team.
So
there are lots of parameters.
Yeah, of course, in a team and with the coach or the staff in general, lots of parameters. But yeah, let's say, imagine in the teams we had, the thing is, we should teach the players and the coaches also not to create problems. Because the problems will arise mainly from the opponent, from different things. You have lots of problems that can be created in a team because you have lots of differences coming here. And each of the differences is a potential problem, let's say. So in fact, I look more in a team like there is no problem, okay? But there are people that create problems. So what we want is that people express themselves using their strengths, using the strengths also of the others and welcoming the strengths of the others. And they put their attention onto also the strengths of the others, or what the others do well, and try to get along with that, and encourage people to express using their strengths. If I put my attention somewhere else, I will create a problem. I will create a problem. So the idea for a coach is don't try to change anybody in a team. I don't think you have to change anybody, but encourage the people to adapt and put their attention according to the situation. That's the best way for me to create a team is, okay, we are different, we have a lot of differences in a team. We need really to put our attention on what is important, not on things that are detailed, not important, on what is important. And important is the people I'm playing with. Okay, so I need to connect with the people. I don't need to like all the people, I don't need to be friends with all the people, but I need to connect with them in terms of, okay, whoever you are, I welcome you, do your best in using your strength, and I will help you, and then you could help me at the same time. But the idea is really to go on that philosophy for me. Okay, don't train your brain to put the attention on a problem. If you don't put your attention on a problem, the problem doesn't exist anymore. So we say always, according to also Joël and my wife, she says also, according to Nasrin Reza, talking that you should not feed the monster. You should not create a problem by fighting. Okay? When you fight, in fact, you feed the monster and you create the problem. Get out of the fight. Use your energy for the fight against the opponent, okay? If you're a team, sports team, or against a business opponent, could be. But don't use the energy to fight inside the team, or to fight something that makes you a little bit uncertain. For example, a player's doing something different, not behaving properly or something. Okay, you don't know why. Maybe he has a good reason to do that. But if you just put your energy and attention on the mainstream, on the main thing, and then you're less creating problems. And for me, our brain, that's the problem of our brain, especially our left hemisphere, is like programmed to create problems. Every time he encounters something different, okay, let's go, there's a new problem. Okay, then you put your attention on the problem, you feed the monster, and the problems become something big.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you just let it go, it's like go with the flow, then you have less of the problem. So we'll see if there is also a question arising in maybe some of our guys there will tell us if there is something coming on the stream, on the chat. On the chat.
There was one question about the date of availability of the book.
There is one important thing I'm learning, or I learned already before the book. It took Ralph and myself 30 years to develop the story. We were the guys that invented the physical testing in the motor preferences. The system is so done that I'm sure the book will be published, but I don't know when. If I have expectation about when the book will get out, I then will create stress to me and to all people around, because I have expectation. When you expect something, you're already in the stress. So that's something we were teaching with Ralph a lot of time in all education we did at the beginning, is the Stockdale paradox. Stockdale was a general in the army or not far away from general that was imprisoned in Saigon Hotel, so Saigon Palace, which was the highest ranked officer, US officer, that was imprisoned by the Vietnamese. And they just witnessed that if you have expectation, okay, I will get out of the jail at that moment and at that moment, then, and all those expectations were just cancelled, they were just broken. And because you expect and nothing happened, you expect and nothing's happened, you are creating in your body lots of storms. And a lot of people that had expectation, they never survived the jail. And people that didn't have expectation but knew they will get out of the jail at some point, they didn't have any less problems, okay? There's a lot of violence at that time, of course, in the jail, but they had less problems. And Stockdale get out of the jail finally a long time, I don't know, 7 years or something. I just read a story not long time ago, again, because it was one of Ralph's favorite story also. And of course, if I expect the book to get out and I know I have no control, and I put my expectation, it should be here, it should be here, it should be here, then I have a problem. I create my own stress. I don't want that. I know it will get out normally, but I cannot give you a date for sure.
But we expect it.
But we expect. A lot of people expect. So be patient. It will be out. So
maybe it will
just
be already in all the languages.
Yeah, it's the translation in English is parallel. So maybe the English translation will come up to the French first and then to the rest. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm sorry not to be able to give more information about that, but I cannot because I don't have any control on that. That's the problem. I don't have any control.
But for all the people at home, I don't know which camera, but
don't hesitate and just ask if there is something on your mind you'd like to know, because that is important at the moment. So okay.
I just have a question about the internal rhythm. Thank you.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Nadia.
Is it?
Or you should go to the chat and ask. Then there is a question after coming. Okay.
You can send it to her.
Go for it. Go for your question.
For the internal rhythm, is there something else you have to respect at the beginning, or it's just horizontal and vertical?
No, I said all the parameters have an influence. So the table I created for that is about horizontal, vertical. But if you are clockwise, counterclock, it will give another things. If you are introverted, extroverted, it gives you another thing, and so on and so forth. So all the parameters. So I create a table with some points, minus and pluses, to see where you are when you have the profile, and you create an addition about all those points. Who's going to be first and last in terms of rhythm, okay? Slower and faster. For example, for right-handed people, because of course, the fact that, imagine you play sports, I'm right-handed and I'm right shoulder, or I'm right-handed and I'm left shoulder, that's a bit different in terms of preparation and ending. If you are right-handed and I think, if I remember well, the R1 profile is number 1 in speed. I'm not talking about DMDs. I'm not talking about DMDs here, but just saying that if you have an R1 right shoulder or right foot, it can be the same after, like Cristiano Ronaldo, we think, then you have the fastest pace inside.
But at the end, the really interesting thing is to use such a metronome and find out the rhythm yourself, because to follow up is not that.
But you just cannot say when you're vertical, you're like this, or when you're horizontal, like this.
No.
It's a tendency. No, it's a tendency. I think because of the combination of DMDs and motor profile and everything, it's very unique and individual. So you need to find yourself, and having somebody that can profile you at the same time, so test you at the same time. It's why I wanted to show that small trick. I think it can be used. And of course, after, make your experience with that thing and come back to us on the platform or something with your experiences and stories about how it works for you, what did you do, success stories or something else. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Good.
go for it. There a question, Eric?
Yeah, Aziz, Aris ask you
Hi, Aziz. How are you?
if you could give us some exercise of nonlinear approach and dynamic balance action types in sport.
Some exercise? No, maybe some principles. Yeah, so he's talking about differential learning, maybe. Differential learning or something like that. So, what we can do. When I coach, for example, the ice hockey players, I have an idea of making them shoot. Maybe you can go also on the Proki Coach Instagram, the company I'm working with Benoit Pont, and have a look at the videos that are there. A few examples are there for ice hockey, for example. Okay, but the idea is to have a line. Okay, I want them, for example, to shoot left or right. Okay, to shoot better with a puck. So I'm using, for example, the mobile point aiming. Aim with your mobile point to the target, and I would suggest in any sport, because I talked a bit exchanging with Wolfgang Schöllern a lot about those things, go for a maximum of 3 experience, 3 movement, 3 things, maximum in a row, 1, 2, 3, and then change something and start again. So don't repeat more, because repetition doesn't exist, but the word exists, so I use it. Don't repeat more than 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then stop and pick up a variation, change of position, change of material, change of something, and go for 3 more, and then change. But I keep the same target, which is the same aim. I want them to shoot better, to have a more precision, they are more consistent in how they shoot. And okay, I'll for example, what I did with ice hockey was I put things on top of the goal. So I'm training the people for precision, but precision inside the goal and precision outside the goal, which is differential. Why do I train outside and in the goal? Because some people will say like, you're a coach, but you're crazy. You're crazy. No, because if I am able to consciously play outside and consciously play inside, it means I know where the limits are. I can draw the limits. This is here, and this is out, and this is in. And if I go consciously in and out, I'm not afraid of the target anymore, because I can play with the target. And that's a playing thing, very important. Because people, when they play tennis and they put a ball near the line, they have some stress because they know it will be near the line. Yep. So if they experience the fact, if I do this, it's 20 out, if I do this, it's 20 in, and they can differentiate between the two, then the line becomes not a problem, but a solution to create a good shot.
But do you have the feeling on behalf of the walking way, walk from top, walk from bottom?
Walking patterns?
Yeah, the walking patterns. If it is easier for the walking from top to do this step of all time changing, because it's somehow this jumping, changing of how they perceive things, they like very much. And it's more difficult for those who walk from bottom, because they like to stick to a follow-up.
You could say that it could be a problem because of that.
What's your experience with all the players?
It's not for me. It's not a problem. The only thing I have to do is create some kind of confidence.
Okay.
If you work with me, it's because you trust me.
Yeah.
If you don't trust me, you don't work with me. Okay. So it's very easy for me. I don't have something in between. Okay. If I have a responsibility to make you better, I will. The condition is trust me and follow me, okay? So and that's very important, I think, in any situation.
Yeah. Would that be for you the key to say yes? That's the key for me to be ready for a lot of changes within training session.
I don't really work with sport, so maybe you should ask him. He's more in the sport.
For me, yes, I talked about it with the Tron yesterday or the night before. I'm coaching a volleyball team. It's on the second highest division, so okay, they can play a little bit. It's not professional, but okay. But for hitting into the court, for me, it's not interesting for me. They can hit outside the court as far as they want, but hit the hand, make a touché. So the team is quite small, so we have 190s, so that's not, for volleyball it's not that small, so you have to be a really high jumper. But if you spike, and look for the block, but sometimes you miss, and then it's out of bounds, it's gone. Yep. But then you learn, okay, this is out.
You play with the opponent.
You play with the opponent because he hasn't got the guts to take his hand away, because he's so on the ball. He wants to make a kill block, so he will stay there every time. He will not go away, even if you miss twice.
They are educated to do that, and they are like automatic. So you play with them because they're automatic. Give me your hands.
So we have advertisements in the gym at a certain height, maybe 6-7 meter height, with beautiful ladies on it.
And I said, just hit Shubi. Shubi is over there. And they know what and this is what
he is as crazy as well. About volleyball.
He's talking about. He's just trust. The first time when I told him that this hit Shubi, you're not aiming there. He said, of course, you're aiming there because someone will be in between. And now they reduce the faults they make and just go down to 3 or 4.
If you're not afraid, then you gain confidence.
Yeah.
If you are afraid of doing this,
and don't you make mistakes? Of course you make mistakes, but it's just reducing a little bit. That's
overall, yeah, reducing. So Aziz, for the tennis, don't hesitate to put a line 20 meters, a second line 20 meters out of the tennis court, and ask them to play 3 balls there, and there, and then maybe 3 balls inside on the other side, and so on and so forth. So play with the lines, outside in, use lots of variations, and you will see that it's very difficult at the beginning for the tennis players to play out, because it's like they were programmed to have a fear about that zone. So they play in or they play 2 meters out, but they don't play 20 meters behind the line. So as soon as they come to that limit, it's something like it's not working here. So too much or not enough. Okay, so if they can regularly play there, then I play with the lines. I think the big guys we know in tennis, they're not afraid to play with the lines. I mean, it can be Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, and the others. They're not afraid to play with the lines. So that's another one. So okay, Eric, let's go.
There's another theme for the audience. Maybe repeat the questions. I'm not sure I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Regarding what for you?
Yeah.
Back to the rhythm change.
Yes.
You said that horizontal goes slow and vertical goes fast.
Yeah.
And they were asking, what about the level shear and dextro shear?
So that was my explanation. Maybe I was not clear enough. If you are playing right-handed and you are shoulder on the same side, you get a higher pace. But if I'm left-handed and left shoulder, it's also get a left. If I have a shoulder here and I play lefty, or shoulder here and I play righty, then of course it decreases the internal rhythm, because you need to have a preparation that is a bit longer. Okay, so it's what we witness in terms of also in football, in ice hockey, in handball, volleyball, also in golf with the backswing. It's what Ralph witnessed also at the beginning. So okay, so that's the idea of left shoulder, right shoulder, and internal rhythm. Yeah, I mean something we will develop in the future for sure, but. For all the exercise you can imagine, I say my principle is 3, 1, 2, 3 maximum. So I don't want the guy to get into an habit. I don't want to create a habit. It's why playing with the lines is interesting, because you get out of the habit. Movement and sport is all about adaptation, so I need to adapt every single time. Adapt to my internal things, because maybe I'm stressed, I'm fatigued, I'm anything, and adapt to the opponent, to the context. So if you go too much automatism, then I think it's a bad solution. It's a bad solution.
Okay.
It seems good, but it's a bad solution at the end.
You were working
last years, we know all about the loop and the shadow.
They should.
They should.
They did their work.
You did a lot of work on the backup profile, and maybe not so many people are consciously
working with it. Can you explain a little bit, in a simple way, what the benefits are to just to work with the backup profile?
Okay, we'll try. It's not also a very easy topic, because there is a lot of parameters, of course. But let's try to make something as simple as possible on the backup profile side. So
straighten your back.
Yeah,
up.
straighten my back and going on my back chains to clear my mind. Okay. First of all, Ralph came with that backup story at one point. He always came to me with new things, so I had to digest every time, like you did after. Say, what, Ralph? What did you say here? What did you do here? Okay, let's try. And then develop and find why. I was supposed to find all the whys behind. Okay, that was my job. And the backup profiles at first, it didn't work. So Ralph said to me, of course, I see that people are doing G, but he's an R. I see he's doing something else. Okay, an R2 can do some G in a golf course, no problem. But as soon as you test them, you profile them using those backups, they have no dynamic balance. Okay, so how come that they can play using something that doesn't work? That was the question. And it took a long time, of course. I just connected that, I think, before Berlin. And at the beginning of the year 2018, I think, because I was not happy with the fact that it was not coherent. Okay, so okay, we knew what we call backup profile was the link between function number 1 and function number 3. Okay, but every time I tested that according to the profile, to the main position 1 of the system, doesn't work. Okay, so the idea is, how can we find how it works? So at that time, a few years before, I created the idea of the metaphor of a double loop and the valley, the mountain and another valley. And I said, okay, why not? Those backup, there may be some tunnels around the mountains that allows you to go from one side to the other when you have a problem. Sometimes you don't need, you go from one valley to the others following a path that is outside the mountain, but sometimes you need maybe to go faster and quicker and use the tunnels. And it makes sense for me because in my mind, I always wanted everybody to have the 4 motor skills available, which is, even if I'm a C, then I have all the 3 others available. I have my small loop, G, okay, no problem, but I also have R and D. Okay, and because I have a whole brain, I mean, I don't have any, what I know now, I don't have any thing that is cut in my head. So because I have all the connection, I have all the 4. Okay, so how do they come into play, the 2 last? I know big loop, small loop, but how do the 2 last come into play? So that was the idea of, okay, what happened if we change energy? And that was the first hypothesis. Okay, we take the 1-3, but we take the 1-3 with reverse energy. So in fact, we take the 1-3, I'm in a valley, okay, I have my 1-3, it doesn't work, because I already have a solution, motor solution on position 1, which is my profile. Okay, C1, I don't need anything else. I need only 1 motor skill per position, and then I can multiply the position. So in my first position, I have the C1, I don't need anything else. Why the other one are not working physically? But if you change the 1-3 and you go in the mountain, because we knew it was not working physically here, okay, how come if we take the 1 free here and not down there? And it's what was the hypothesis, and we tested that with Philippe Poussin, with David Deno, with it was another friend here, another C2, and then it was also Fabrice there, my C3 friend, and of course I tested that on them right away because I knew their profile were validated, and it was working every time. So it means that when you look at the brain, we know how the function cope together. We have 8 functions. We use them differently, and the function we will use right away, the 5, 6, 7, 8 directly. Okay, they give you the backups. So as soon as we are using, for example, in my example, if I take my example, in C1, if I have the 1 free of the C4, which is in the mountain, and people know when I'm a C4 because you cannot live with me when I'm a C4. I'm like, I'm a killer. And Philippe Poussin knows that if he's there, because sometimes I get to C4, he says, hey, you go C4, I go away. Because it's very dangerous. My energy goes very different, you cannot control. There, my one to 3 is different. So the one there is the imagination, okay? Getting back to the 3 which is value at that point. So if I do R internal, so the N into the F, R internal, okay, both internal functions. So if I go on the R position, like I'm creating a bias to the left, I go inside, I put my attention in my body, my internal space, internal rhythm could be, and then you get, I can push, I can be moved profile, then I know I'm fully available. I'm okay, my dynamic balance is fully ready to work. And I can use that, for example, I understood much after later that I can use that to get rid of some tensions. For example, I was in the army, Swiss army a long time ago. I stopped, for God's sake, I stopped, and then the army is not a context I did like a lot, because a lot of different things. But it took, when I was in the army, what did I do in the time, spare time? I wrote poems. I was completely, I remember now, completely into the R internal. I have books with a lot of writings and poems that I wrote when I was there. I couldn't really express there with my things, so I get inside into the art. It was very dreamy, very writing things and ideas and so on. So I'm putting poems on paper.
That will be in the book?
I don't know, I don't think so. It's too many pages already, so I cannot. No, nothing very personal there, but I remark now that I did use the R internal, in fact, at some point where, in some context where I couldn't really express myself. I couldn't really do the C1 thing or the G4 thing. Okay, G4 in the army, it's easy, you just obey and you go. But for me, I mean, but I'm not a real.
If you use this backup profile, could it be a solution for people who are going into burnout or try to?
We think so.
Because I think when I think about this,
we think so. We don't have a lot of stories about that, but the one we could use show that there is hope when you do that. When you use the backup profile. It could be through the triggers, it could be through the postures, it could be through different things. There are some hope that because when you are in burnout, the switching system between the loops is stuck, using the tunnels could free the energy to go from one side to the other, to flow from one side to the other. And as soon as the energy flows back into the system, the switch comes back, then for me the burnout starts to disappearing.
Yeah, I can say that also when I'm working with people with when they are mental issues or they're not happy or the coaching class. So I go to the mobile point. And they have to go to the mobile point first of all because I want them to have the body also. But then when I put them in backup, I see that I have a reaction. and they
Okay.
have an answer, because sometimes they are stuck, they are there, they cannot answer to a simple question, even if it's nothing special. They have no clue, they are just like, wow, I don't know. Then I put them in the backup, and then we do this movement, okay, we move, it's just not sitting position, but then I have an answer. Maybe it's not the best answer for them, but at least they go back to the flow. Yeah, I can feel that. I see that a lot of times.
It's also my experience, but of course we don't. I'm not sure we have enough of them, but it's what we see.
Yeah.
And when we measured a little bit of the heart rate variability when people were not well, and we did the backup, and then we measure after. We have also a slight change in parameters, slightly changes to something more better for them.
Eric, any questions on this
Topic?
No, there are 28 people, starting with 13.
Okay, so we say hello to the 28 people, wherever you are, we had a lot of delay, but finally we could go for something. And the idea is also to record the whole session and make it available on the platform for the people also that couldn't listen to that. So we'll be here and later also here. Okay, so backup is a story, big story. It's not finished. I explain a lot of the backup things in the book, things that are completely new, because I give some new names, new ideas and things to use. But I think there is a lot of potential in using the backup profile. What I use also is just simply putting somebody in a posture which is more on the left or more on the right, inside or outside, and then stay there to get the resources. That's also possible, because if you are stuck and okay, I don't have any ideas now, I need some ideas, I don't have any ideas. Okay, just put yourself into posture. Small meditation can be, and then let yourself just be ready for the competence, for the resources. It's coming anyway, so good.
It's a good moment
To talk a little bit about the ATEP we normally do now.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows because of Corona
it was
Postponed
unfortunately,
2021. Yeah.
And I have the dates. So for everyone, 18, 19, and 20 of June will be in
2021.
In Holland, and probably will be in Rotterdam. So.
And you have the organizer or part of the organization. Is here.
And hopefully we will be on the ship, the Rotterdam.
Hopefully.
I'm connecting to that now, and try to make a good program. So take care and be there, because
Will do.
Topics like this they will be there, and it's very important to meet each other every year.
Exactly.
To exchange and just to keep up with all the new things.
It's done for that, and the one you do in Holland in December, you just told about. It's like an ATEP X, like just independently organized event.
It's just for all the people who want to come in. It's in Dutch, but if the French who want to come, of course.
We will learn some. Goed.
Yeah. But it should be something, if we want to make it a little bit bigger, which every country could do, an ATEP X. So just do an annual meeting for the guys
in your country. So if it's Belgium, Holland could be okay, Germany,
even Germany,
whatever.
France,
So
Switzerland,
French has a lot.
Finland, England.
A lot of people. Finland.
Prashant, if you're here, England is there.
So please do it and continue it, and just make it happen with each other, because that's the only way we can get a little bit further.
Yeah.
So brings us a little bit to the profiling story, because we are always curious, because
if I go back in the time where I started, lots of things changed, and
I would say evolved.
Evolved, okay, that's a better word, yeah. But we are always curious. There are new things, just slight things. You have some new testing. Once I found the Gili test, we had a laugh about it, but it worked.
No, test you can test we know, because we had a lot of tests, a lot of profiling situation. I still prefer profiling than testing, because testing has a connotation of bad and good. Okay, you do a test at school and you're good or bad, but if I make your profile in school, it's not good or bad, it's a profile. So it's better to say profile than testing, but we have that automatic work coming back again and again in our mind. Testing. Okay. Profiling story. Profiling. The story of profiling is the first situation 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Now it's up to 4.3, because there's a few things coming. Of course, why did we evolve? Why did I evolve also? And I talked to Ralph at some point and said we need to do something else. Why? First of all, because we don't have to make it magic. Okay, so I wanted to get out of the manipulation things. So for me, the sideways things are all 3-0, can be there or there, but this is sideways. This is more for demonstration, in my point of view. I can make demonstration or small profiling cues, okay, to let the person experience. But first, for me, the profiling should be a physical sensation, physical experience shared with the person you are profiling. So it's not to get the profile out of the system first, it's to exchange an experience, to share experience with the person I'm profiling. Because we can talk about what was experience. I can talk about that, he can talk or she can talk about that. And we can create a common language. Do you remember in that position it was like that, and so on and so forth. So it's an experience. It's why I'm doing all the situations, even though I know it will not work. I'm doing the situation because I want the person to experience what it's all about, and not just magic like that and like that. Okay, because this is not very ethical for me. Deontologically, I don't recommend doing that, because you will be seen as a guru, as a magician, and because they don't understand what you're doing, they will, at some point, they could go like that. Okay, so it's not magical, it's just natural movement. The body responds to constraints, it has a dynamic balance, it has internal rhythm, it has backup profiles. All these things are for you to be ready to do something, or to express, okay, to do something. And when you ask the body, is the body ready or not ready, there is no in-between solution. Either I'm ready or I'm not ready. Okay? You don't know always why, but there are those two things. And it's why we are also developing new things. Like yesterday night, we tried new things with the friends here. And of course, we have new questions coming. Okay? And I mean, there is always more questions than answers, so that's for sure. But so profiling for me is very important to evolve it to something that is more trustable, more solid, more consistent, and more respectful for me and for the other. And it's why I created the 4-point-something situation, because I wanted really the people to be active. Okay? When you're on the sideways, you can make it very well with very a lot of attention about what you do and so on and so forth. It's difficult to know what is the intention of the person you are profiling. Okay, very difficult, because you never know what's happening in their head. You know, they can dissociate their mind and body in half of a second, and we have a big problem because you lose them. You don't know where they are. You lose them. So in order for them to concentrate and stay available for the whole story, then you need to have them actively doing the thing, actively pushing you, and they transform their intention into something more precise and more accurate, the energy in one direction. That was the main goal of the last situation. Of course, and the order of what I'm doing now, or teaching how, in order for what I start and second and third and so on, it's quite more and more consistent and more fixed, because I want the person to be fresh at the beginning, and I know it will be tired, I will be tired at the end. So I'm never, I say, when I do a profile, I'm never starting with DMDs. I'm always letting the DMDs for the end. Because the DMD situation, okay, it's could be easy, could be less easy, depending on the situation also, but they will be tired when they do the DMDs. And as soon as they're tired, and I'm doing the profile, the motor profile, the switch can happen, and I have a problem. So I want really the motor skill, the dynamic balance, to come as fast as possible at the beginning, when they are fresh, when they are ready, and then I can get to the rest. So new things into the 4 point something, yes, there are a few things, small details that we didn't have at the beginning. The first thing I will say is if I'm talking about 4 point something, okay, 4.3, people will push you, and of course you need to be in your posture. That's what we teach. You need to be in your posture in order to listen. That's already a big challenge for a lot of people, but they can learn it. If they trust, they can learn, and they will do it, no problem. I don't see anybody not achieving that when they really want to, okay? And you get less tired because you can do 20 people in a row. You are less tired using that system. So it's good for us, anyway. First thing, when I want people to take my arm, so they will take my arm, I want them to go spontaneously from here, like I had some pistols or something, some weapons here, and then I go very quick, okay? So very quick, they take. So I would put myself left and right. Some people are going right and left. Some people are going symmetrically, okay? So if they go spontaneously to one position, I ask them to keep that grip, that position, for the whole system.
Is that reference to?
Yeah, if they can, because normally if they go spontaneously, it's because it's coming from natural movement, okay? They will use that one. So I don't know about their status, if they are fatigued, if there are problems and so on and so forth, but what I know is spontaneously, I will have a better answer. So they use it, and then of course, they will be able to push. Normally, if they go spontaneous, they will be able to push because there's a spontaneous answer to the situation. Of course, you know that I'm asking to push downwards, so having the forearm a little bit flat or a bit downwards there, push something that is far away, 3, 4, 5 meters behind the profiling guy. And that intention is very important. That's the one I control. I always give my hand, say, I want that direction. So I show them the direction I want. So push in that direction. Because I'm free. I can show them, okay, you're here, but okay, you remember? There, I want you there, push there. Okay, so I remember each push, I show them again in which direction I want, just to make it clear. I'm coaching them, okay? That's very important. Then, of course, behind that is I'm always starting with asymmetry right, asymmetry left, because it's easy to control. It's easy to control if the person is on the right or on the left, okay? Difficult to control if you start in the middle, because you never know if they will stay in the middle. If you have a walking top, like me, and you ask me to stay in the middle, the problem is I may switch to one side because I'm not feeling well. I'm not having the good sensation. So importantly, I say, okay, start on left, start on the right, and then of course I go to the symmetry. Symmetry is a system where I have two possibilities, okay? Far away or close, the G and the D, okay? I keep always the mobile points in my back as a weapon to create the relapping situation, which is the 2 RDP in French, the relapping situation, to relap, relaxation, let it flow, become available and perform. Every time I have a doubt or the person is a bit struggling, I go for a mobile point and I just relax the mobile zone, mobile points, just for make them available for the situation. That I keep always, okay? But normally I'm using that as a control when I have also the motor skill at the beginning. So I go down there, down the process, okay, boom, 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 boom. And I want now, if they got a good reaction, a good answer about symmetry, they could be close or far away, D, and close, G. What I use now, because I'm still in the idea of coaching the intention, I ask them to do two things. First is, they are in a symmetry, okay, seems to be symmetry, okay, and they push with the intention to put the forearm first. So the intention is organize your forearm from elbow to fingers, organize your forearm to start the push, okay? So really, it's not disconnected, you cannot 100% do that, you have to do a little bit of the rest, okay? That's for sure, but I ask them to start here and then come with your body behind. All of these, they can do that, okay? Normally, they will place their forearm and they will get with their body back in behind. And they're good. If I ask the G's to do that, they cannot push, okay?
They have to be more close.
Yeah, or they have to start with the body first, and then after they put the forearm, and then it's okay, and then it's okay.
But it's a starting position.
It's starting position, for sure. But the idea, I don't tell them about the distance. I just tell them, okay, I want your body first, and they will naturally create the distance, and after go with that. My idea is to give as less information as possible, as simple as possible, to not let them go in their mind. Okay? And I have a difference. And that's maybe what makes a big difference. Then, of course, I go horizontal vertical. And there, of course, horizontal vertical, there is a few things that we should know. We can test horizontal vertical with the pressing here that Mathieu Zemp created. He wanted that movement press against at the level of the shoulder, and we had also that movement where you spread out, you go away. Some vertical people, we know some vertical people, they could respond positively to that one. So we need to be careful. If I have a doubt, I can make both. Go out or go in. I have one case not far away, that vertical person that was good with that position. So I don't know why, but I had one case, and she was really vertical after. What I do is normally two tests. I do this one, sure, and you may do another one according to perception, which is a line or something, or you could do also the test from Frédéric Marquet, which is linking the functions. Okay.
What I do in business,
check.
and people really like that, is using the handshake with them.
Yeah.
Just making a nice check with them and just okay, we'll do the handshake and.
It's a good start.
I'm just observing the elbow.
It's a good start, and the problem is it's an indicator for me, because I still have people that show a little bit of inconsistencies there, depending on how they do their thing.
Check after that also.
Yeah, I will go always. Yeah, the handshake I do as just an indicator to start there or there.
Yeah, sometimes I use it for salesmen, for example, because you know if they are horizontal, they will not decide that day. They will go back to the office and they will say, yeah, I had a nice agreement, and I have to think about it, and blah blah blah. Maybe 2-3 days later they will come back, but they will not go for the result right away.
No.
Eric has a question.
Based on the testing, the question from Thierry Durandi, who's wondering how testing.
Salut Thierry. Okay.
What? Based on the distanciation.
Yeah, distanciation of.
Based on the distanciation, how should we do testing
at the moment?
Based on the current situation.
In the corona situation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can say a little bit about how I solve the problem, because I'm doing a golf workshop in a couple of weeks, and I asked the guy if it was okay to touch the people, and he asked the people if they were okay with it. So I'm going to use gloves and a mask, and then they are okay. So you can do it. That's my solution.
Yeah, even though if gloves are sometimes the worst what we can do, because we just carry the things.
I can give you my version. If you go 4.x, okay, you're listening. You don't use your hands. They push you here. I don't touch them. I have the profile. Finished. I don't have to put anything.
Yeah.
So that's my version. But I'm not going to put anything. So that's it. But the 4.4 point something was developed for such situation, not thinking about the corona, but for people that don't like to be touched, don't like to be connected and things like that. So it's not a problem. I don't touch them. They go, finished. Okay, so
Another question?
maybe it's another motivation for people to learn the 4 point something better.
Can you show the white pen? But I guess it was
The what?
Yeah, it's the white pen. Just
Okay, yeah, okay. So that's our camera people working like. Okay, so what more about the profiling? What is important, and I recommend that, is motor skill first. Then you have we'll do the contrast test at the beginning. I didn't talk about that, but most of the people they know with a lie, conscious lie or no lie, with your first name and another name, just to have a contrast test. But when you have motor skills, you go for vertical horizontal. Okay, handshake can be a good indicator. You go for vertical horizontal, and you check right away the shoulder after the vertical horizontal, because if you did a small, there are peculiarities. So if I did some wrong things about vertical horizontal, and at the beginning when you are a beginner and you are not enough experience, and even me sometimes I get trapped because of special anatomical situation or injuries, and I control the shoulder after vertical horizontal, always in posture, using the information that I got from the beginning. I control the person in posture with the shoulder that should be here, because when I have the motor skill and the vertical horizontal dimension, it gets me, or it gives me the shoulder. I control the shoulder, and if it's wrong, I know I did something not so, that vertical horizontal was not so easy.
Yeah.
I can get back to vertical horizontal and just double check if I need. The shoulder will tell me if or if not. Okay, and then if I control and I have that good, the shoulder is okay, I put people into posture with the proper shoulder to get the radar, because the radar is the most difficult thing to have. Or if you want to have high activation, low activation. But I did the attitudes or the energy last. When I have all the other parameters that are set, already set, I get to the energy. And with that system, 4 point something, I got very good consistencies over time with hundreds and hundreds of people, and even with kids. With kids, what if you can go sideways for sure, but you can also go here. But you just change your posture, and you may put your feet together. If you're not very balanced, you let the kid push. He will push you less or more with your stance closed. And maybe they don't have that much of strength, but if you are on 1 foot here or on 2 feet together, then if they push you, they will win. Even the kids, they will win. So, and they will feel the difference. And it's good for them that they experience the fact that when they do something happening. So you're moving. So every time is possible. It's possible to do things, no problem. So there is no limit here. But the logic of the system is very important. And okay, at the end, I do the control with the triggers. And there is a little bit of the control interesting that I'm giving here today as the first time. When you do the triggers, I find very interesting to do the 8 points. But I don't activate the points. I'm not activating, I'm just touching I say to the guy, okay, I touch you here, concentrate, like the mobile point. I touch you here or here, okay, concentrate on that point. Concentrate. I teach them how to concentrate on points. And then they do. And the huge, between internal and external, huge difference every time. Huge difference. And of course, imagine you have an extroverted like me, okay? All the external points will work, except one. It's where I have my introverted function, my second function. Okay? So all the internal points will not work except the one where I have my second function. So, understand? If I'm going C1, I will go, okay, let's go. First function, N. Okay, I go back here, N extroverted, I concentrate on that one. I do the contrast with N internal. Big contrast. I can go now to the opposite in diagonal, because 1 and 8 are diagonal. I go outside here, S external is number 8, S internal, okay, big contrast. So now I have an experience that the 2 outside work, the 2 inside don't work. I go the 3, third is here, F external is the third, F internal, okay, I go, big difference. All the external working, all the 3 internal doesn't work. And the one that is left, okay, the one that is left is in fact my motor skills, okay. The one worked and my second is here. So back here, the T internal will work, but not the T external. So it means I have 3 couples where I have a big contrast, and I have 1 couple where the contrast is reversed. And that's a very nice check, for the moment. I'm not sure I'm right, but I just got what the other person is ready to give me. So that is the thing. Maybe it's placed in the backup or somewhere else, I don't know, but it can move always. So I have to be ready to be wrong. I don't care to be wrong, but I care if I am not ready as somebody listening and doing my things step by step here.
Is it now more safe as a test, but what we did before was the motor eye?
It's much better. It's much better. It's much better. As soon as you use the logic of the thing, I'm using always a toothpaste metaphor. Remember, toothpaste, you need first to open the cap. If you let it close, then it's very difficult. So opening the cap is creating the condition for the profiling. Then you go in and you go slowly from the rear part to the front part, and you take everything out, and then you have the profile. But if I press somewhere else, and then the thing is completely crashed, and to recover the rest inside, I have to do a lot of work. So it's a mess. Yeah. Okay. So the idea of creating a standard here is not bad, and as soon as you do this, you are also in a better shape as a profiler. I'm in a better shape because I can trust what I do. I know that there could be problems, but they're not coming from my method. Okay, they're coming from something else. Maybe the person is injured, maybe the person is stressed, burnout, anything. Okay, that's not my problem, but I have to welcome the fact that there is something else. Okay, so not a big deal. I do DMDs at the end. With movement and with coaching sentences, just to give them a little bit of information, and give them also the 2 movements that are good for the health. Okay, and that's it for the profiling. I mean, for the moment, of course, there is a lot of other things, but I think I will keep that for the ATEP 2021 to have a few things. We are currently last thing. We are currently having a project. It was not working like very fast because of the situation now. But we have a project with it's a 100,000 Swiss francs project. We received money for that, and we are working with Benny Pont, the guy I'm working with in ice hockey, and a lab, an official computer lab, where they are also specialized in image analysis, video analysis, to try to find a situation where we can do some automatic work. Okay, so it's on.
Maybe we can hear that.
Next year, yes. I'm not going to explain now, but just to say that it's on, and now it's on, and more things like that will come, for sure.
Any questions, Eric, about this topic?
Laurent asked, how do you control the shoulder?
How you control the shoulder? Who asked that? Laurent. Okay. The shoulder is very easy. You put people into posture, so you know there is the 4 posture. So they will be symmetrical, asymmetrical. So you only
do with me.
Okay, I'll do with you. You saw already, Rainer. So come towards the bench. It's much. Okay. Yeah. Or I'll throw you downstairs there. And
I will survive that.
Say right shoulder or left shoulder. Yes. Okay. Good. So if I'm got a person with an R situation, okay, then I will ask the person to open always more than the shoulder, okay? When you go sideways test, like I'm doing here, open more than the shoulder, okay? And then I ask him, move your weight to the left, front left, and legs extended, legs extended. And if you have an R2 validated like him, as soon as he's moving front left, he already puts the left shoulder in front. I'm not sure the camera can see that, but it's a 1-2 centimeter difference because the body naturally goes where it suits the posture. So, okay, if I ask you to push more here, even more, I can go only one side. I doesn't tell him when, but I go on the left side and I push and I know I go through. No problem. Keep the position and just change shoulder. Tack, that's it, okay? Stay. Extended, front left, okay, here. He already feels bad because if I just do a little bit of movement here, I don't tell him when, and then I decide to go, and then, okay, we have a Rainer Superman. Okay, it's easy to test that, but they need to be in posture. That's very important. You cannot really check the shoulder if they are not in posture because you don't know the coherency of the system. It has to be in posture. So you need to put them back in posture to be able to check the shoulder.
Shall we maybe show the positioning? If I do the pushing, you profile me, but because you have to change a little bit your position.
You mean here?
Yeah. So if
you
if
stay
I
here,
I push.
You push me. Okay.
Yeah, I push.
He's taking here.
So if
no
I put my left shoulder a bit forward, then the situation is a bit different.
Feet are the same here. Okay.
Yeah.
But here is on the front left. It can be on front left shoulder in front, and he's gonna push me. He's gonna push me. Okay, no problem. Easy. Okay. We put socks so we can glide. It's very good.
So now.
Okay, now we just change shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, and then come here. Same position with your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. You had left on top.
Yeah.
Okay, but the right shoulder, but it's still on the left, front left here, down there. Okay. So I control with my vision, and I say go. Now do what you can.
Cannot.
You know,
do more.
You need to go in the gym a bit more, huh? Like me. Okay. So what is very important is he has to be in posture to be checked. If you check the shoulder can change very quickly because it's linked with the energy and the radar. So I need the intention to go left or right, and then I have a good thing. Okay.
Any questions
Good.
left, Eric?
From where you said? From who? Ah, yes, that's Prashant, my friend in London. Okay.
So he's saying 4.0 makes it so much easier to test lots of people in one go.
So he said, 4.0, what you learned, it's much easier for a lot of people in a row. Yes.
Are people using?
Yeah, I recommend the 4 something. I know that people that were in the first education we organized, they are still on the 3.0 and something, but I recommend for people to be able to do both. Because the sideways is good for some demonstration sometimes, but I mean in the COVID situation, 4.0, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, it's perfect. It's perfect. He's touching me, I'm not touching him, no problem.
Okay, this is
Yeah, if you have more questions, that's okay. We made up to now. It's about 6:30 here in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So
2 hours. 2 hours difference.
2 hours difference. But we started 1 hour later.
Yeah. So we have.
We learned a lot. We learned a lot on our side. On our side, we learned a lot.
Oh no, there are no other questions.
No.
Okay, so we thank you very much for attending to this 2-hour session.
Okay.
I thank very much the guy first behind, Eric, both Eric Mioton, which is a ice skating guy and a good video and technical guy. And we have Mathieu Zemp, which is an official action type also educator and a boxing specialist. But now he's not boxing, he's behind the camera. And Eric Christen, that is also ski specialist and computer specialist. So people behind, I thank also my family to welcome us in my house, in our house. And I thank Nathalie for being here with us. The only woman on the bench today. I thank Michel for coming from Holland and helping us here, and Rainer for your support.
Oh, it's
okay?
always great to come
Good.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. So hope you enjoyed a little bit, and see you hopefully not too late. Okay.
At least
Okay.
ATEP.
Yeah, at least ATEP 2021. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye. We are off. Great job.
The outtakes then are your
Okay.
outtakes.
So even with the late starting, thanks a lot for sharing the discussion from Thierry. Thanks a lot. See you soon in Student Pieces Confair. That was fantastic. Thank you. Thanks. And so forth and so on.
Great.
Yeah, almost 30
Very
people.
good.
Almost 30 people. It's good.
It's a good